Hello and welcome to another video by Johnny. Chào mừng các bạn vào video khác của Johnny nha. So now we are doing speaking practice. The first speaking practice ever of this new class. And in this class we have actually three people. Miss Tu, Mr. Khan, and Mr. Taeyong. So they have been learning with me for quite some times already before they reach this level, like 9 months for Mr. Taeyong. And now they have about 4 to 5 months until they are ready for taking their IELTS exam. So I'll be speaking mostly English in this video because they will be doing IELTS speaking practice anyway. Right. So this is what I made myself. So I do not need to use anybody else material these days. I made this myself. So you can download this one. I think I will put the link to download this prediction of IELTS speaking, and I'll just keep updating it. Okay, class, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So let's move on to part 1. You know what you have to do for part 1?
Yes, we have to
Okay.
answer some kind of question about ourselves.
About yourself, yes.
Yes.
And then what is the grading criteria? Like how you will be graded? How you will be graded? Is it like through like difficult vocabulary or not?
I don't think so, because
Part 1 it's only
need some
about
kind of
fluency, okay? Just try to speak fluently, and you must pronounce things correctly, okay? Pronunciation and fluency are the two most important for part 1, okay? Just for every question you need to answer about 2 to 3 sentences, that will be enough. You can answer longer, it's up to you, but just don't answer very short, because they need something and they base on that to give you a grade, okay? Now, so let's try question part 1, topic number 1, home and accommodation. So, Mr. Khan, what kind of accommodation or housing do you live in?
Currently, I'm living in a house which has a garden and a very big yard.
That's one sentence.
Is it enough, or
Okay, try to expand it. Like,
okay,
how is your house? How's your house look like? How's the garden looks like?
Okay, so my house is quite small, and some people say that my house is like a box. That's not very nice, but it's true about this. And I want to destroy my house and build another one,
renovate it, no?
or something like that.
You mean totally demolish your house and then build a new one, right?
Yes, that's right.
Right. So who do you live with, Mr. Khan?
So I live with my grandmother and my 2 brothers. Since my mom passed away a long time ago, and my dad started his new life.
My mother passed away a long time ago. My mother.
Yes,
father.
my mother passed.
Mom and dad, okay? Because IELTS is a formal situation, so you should never use slangs, no slangs, no taboos, no informal words like stuff, guys, soccer, mom, dad, kid. Don't use these words. So my mother. Yes. Okay. Try again.
So so I live with my grandmother and my 2 brothers. Since my mom passed away when I was 3 years old, and my father started his new life with my father started his new life with a new wife. And however, although we don't live together anymore, but we still have a very good relationship.
I see. So, Mr. Yoon, please. So who do you live with then?
I live with my mom, I will my mother, my dad,
my father.
My
I'm sorry,
father.
this is how the IELTS is. This is how the IELTS is. I mean, in real life, you can say mom and dad, but it's how the IELTS is. I'm sorry. I live with my father and my mother and father.
And my father with my little brother. And we lived together for a long time. Before I lived with my aunt too, but now she go outside and live with my
go outside? You mean she moved out?
Yeah, she moved out.
You mean she moved out?
She moved
I mean she
out,
moved out, move in and move out. Anything. Okay, so she move in and move out. Chuyển vào, chuyển ra nha, chứ đừng có nói là she go out nha. Don't say go out, just say she move in and move out or move out. Okay. Say again, please. Say again. Try again.
I live with my I live with my parents.
I love.
And my little brother.
Leave. Just lower your voice down. I live with my.
I live with my parents and my little brother. Before that, I have my aunt too, but now she moved out to live with my grandma. So,
okay. So what kind of accommodation do you live in, Mr. Young? What kind of accommodation do you live in? Like what kind of house?
I think I live in my small apartment. And a small apartment is on the street, and I opened a restaurant there.
My mother opened a restaurant there. Actually, I know it because Mr. Young is actually my nephew. You are my nephew, so I know it for a very long time. His mom opened a restaurant downstairs, and they live upstairs, right? You live upstairs with your mother and father, isn't it?
No, I live downstairs too.
You live downstairs as well. I see. So it's a house. It's not an apartment. It's a house, actually. But sorry. It's actually an apartment, but you live in the in the ground floor. On the ground floor. You live on the ground floor. Because your building is actually a how can I say, apartment complex, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Apartment complex. And your place actually is the ground floor, on the ground floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, say again, please.
So I live in.
I love. Nhẹ nhàng xuống, please, cho nó tự nhiên hơn. Try to lower your voice so it will sound natural.
Okay. I live on the ground floor of the apartment where my mom opened a restaurant for 10 years.
When my mother opened a restaurant 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. A lot.
Okay, so how long have you lived there?
I lived there for 10 years.
I have lived there. Be careful. I have lived there for.
I have lived there for 10 years. And I helped my mom to open the restaurant too.
I see. So, Miss Du, please. What do you usually do at home, Miss Du?
Like other girls, I usually leave the house, water the plants, play with the cats, and have my mother in the kitchen.
Play with the cats. Play with your cats and help your mother in the kitchen, I see. So, how long have you lived there? How long have you lived there, Miss Tu?
Yes, so many years, and I can't even remember exactly the number. It is a place that witnessed my growing up, and most of friends also live nearby.
And most of my friends also live nearby, I see. So, which room does your family spend most of the time in, Miss Tu? Like you have a lot of rooms in a house, but which room does your family spend most of the time in? Is it a kitchen? Is it the living room? Is it bedroom?
It's definitely the living room.
Definitely.
Or it's definitely the living room. On up remembers of my family spent all day long on working and studying, so we don't have time lunch with each other.
Working.
Yes.
And
working and studying, so we don't have time lunch with each other.
We don't have time.
The only time we
don't have time to learn with each other. Okay, so
we don't have time lunch with each other.
We don't have time to learn with each other. Okay, very
The only time we gather what? Yes.
Just continue, please. Just continue, please.
The only time we gather what? Favorite TV program and showing daily in the evening in our living room.
Okay, I see. So, Miss Hatterhunt, please, what's the difference between where you are living now and where you have lived in the past?
So, you mean the same place? Because I haven't moved to somewhere like that.
Oh, so... I see. So you haven't moved anywhere. I see. So I cannot ask you this question. Yeah. I see. So, how are the transport facilities to your home? Are they very good?
So the best transportation to my hometown is coach, because there are no buses or there are no airports in my hometown. So the best ways to go there to go to my hometown is you have to catch a coach, and it is called Thành Công. Did you know that?
Oh, so it's a long task. It's a long way from your home to your workplace, no?
Yeah, it's about 100 kilometers from Ho Chi Minh City to my hometown. So you should. So it takes you about 3 or 4 hours.
I feel lucky because I live inside Ho Chi Minh City, and I work from home. I don't have to travel anywhere, and I make videos so that thousands of my followers can just see me. Anyway. So, Mr. Khan, do you prefer to live in a house or an apartment, and why?
Well, I prefer to live in a house because when I live in the house, I have more space to do something like gardening or taking care of my plants that I grow. And when I live in the house, like my hometown is a tranquil place, so every time I feel stressed about tranquil place. So every time I have something like I feel stressed. So I just to get to my house and let my hair down and unwind a bit before getting back to work.
I see. So, Mr. Yoon, please, what part of your home do you like the most?
I think it's my bedroom. I think it's my bedroom because that's the place that I can study. It's like now, and I can sleep every time.
Are you sure sleep or sleep? Sleep. Hạ giọng xuống. Trời ơi, nó theo giọng làm cái gì? Lower your tone so it will sound more natural. It's so I can sleep. Go down.
So I can sleep every and relax with books.
Okay.
Relax with some relaxing things.
Okay. So, is there anything you want to change about the place you are living now, Mr. Yoon?
I think I want to make my room bigger. So
you want to widen your room to make your room bigger.
Widen my room. So I can put my exclusive things.
Maybe some kind of decoration you want to have on your walls. Maybe some kind of pictures or wallpapers you want to have on your room. No.
I have decorated my table already, but the room now is very touched about the place, so I cannot do anything much more.
I see.
Because of my dad.
Because your father doesn't let you, no?
Yeah, my father don't let it, and he put his things in my room, so I cannot decorate anything because it's so how can I say, it's not really beautiful.
You mean it looks like you just put everything in one place and it looks really ugly, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. So, Miss Tu, please, is there anything you want to change about your place you're living now, the place you're living now? Yes.
Speaking of my ideal house in future, I'd rather live in
the future.
In the future, I'd rather live in a small wooden house in a large garden with many bright flowers and fruit trees. I have always wanted to live in this sort of house to enjoy the space and privacy it provides.
And the privacy provided, right? And the privacy provided, I see.
However, I think it's just a fantasy for me.
It's that's a what? I don't understand. Try again.
Fantasy.
Privacy.
I think it's just a fantasy for me.
Fantasy.
Privacy.
I thought you want to say privacy or privacy, but you want to say fantasy. Oh, I see.
Fantasy.
Nó chỉ là một cái ước mơ viển vông. It's just a fantasy.
Yes.
Alright, now tell me, Miss Tu, what part of your home do you like the most? Maybe you have a whole room for your cats, who knows? Tell me, which
Thầy
part
đọc lại
of
câu.
your home? What part of your home do you like the most?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely my bedroom.
Definitely.
My room.
Definitely
my bedroom because of its comfort, convenience, and privacy. After a long working day, I want to have a nice sleep and never disturbed by anyone else.
And never disturbed by anyone else. I see. And never disturbed by anyone else.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Moreover,
yes.
In my own space, I can do whatever I want without bothering others.
Without bothering others. Bothering
others.
I see. Now, let's move on to topic number 2, class. Study. Since you are all studying and working at the same time, I think you have a lot of things to talk about. So, Miss Tu, what do you study and what is your major? Cái ngành của em là ngành gì? What is your major?
I graduated from university.
I graduated
from University of Social Sciences and Humanities and
Social
Humanity
Sciences
and Humanities. And my major was
humanity.
Humanities.
Okay.
And my major was psychology. Yes.
Oh, you study psychology.
Yes. Psychologist.
A child psychology, I see.
Child psychologist.
Good. So you are basically in the right field, I think. Child psychology, I see. So, but what is your area of specialization? Chuyên ngành. What is your area of specialization?
I will study the psychologies of adolescent children.
No, they are not children anymore. They are adolescents. Adolescents are no longer children. Remember that. Adolescent is basically
there are many
from 14 to 17 years old. 14-17 tuổi là trẻ vị thành niên rồi, không còn children nữa đâu. Adolescents are from 14 to 17 years old. They are not children, okay? I think they're not children.
Yes.
They are nearly an adult already. So, so you specialize in psychology of adolescents. I see. So, Mr. Han, please. So, what's your major? So, what do you study, or what's your major?
Well, my major is about English. I mean,
you study English major, right? You study English major, right?
Yes. Yes, that's right. English major.
So tell me, in the English major, there should be some area of specialization. So what are you specialized in? What are you specialized in?
Well, it's about teacher. I mean, you have to learn to be a teacher, like how to plan a lesson plan and how to put potential out of students, something like that.
So you specialize in English teaching, right?
Yes, that's right.
I see. But why did you choose to study that major, Mr. Han? Is there a special reason?
At first, I didn't want to be a teacher because I was really want to learn about information technology. However, my aunts told me that
my mother
told me that you cannot. My aunt. Sorry, my aunt.
My aunt told me that.
Yes. My aunt told me that you cannot have a good job if you learn about information technology.
Of course,
so
you do.
She told me to. Yeah. So she told me to choose to be an English teacher. So she can help me to get a good job in primary school. So that is the reason why I'm being a teacher right now.
But don't you love your job right now?
At first, I didn't love to be a teacher, but now I'm getting used to it, and I love to be a teacher.
Oh, so getting used to it, and you think and you feel like you love teaching now. Oh, it's good. It's a good sign, you know. If you love something, you will stick with it for a long time. You stick with it for a long time. Right, Mr. Young, please. So, what kind of school did you go to as a child? So you are in grade 10 now. So they talk about it. So this question talk about the past. You can describe your primary school or secondary schools. So what kind of school? What kind of school did you go to as a child?
I went to primary school. Right there, the study facility is very good because it's just open. So I am the first and biggest generation right there.
So when you entered that school, you were very young and you were actually the very first students. Is it nice? Of course, it's so nice. So tell me, do you study better in the morning or in the afternoons? And why, Mr. Yoon?
I think studying in the morning is better.
In the morning, I think studying in the morning, it's...
I think studying in the morning is better than studying in the afternoon because studying in the morning, your brain is very clean, so you can learn everything and you can put into your head easily. So
right. In the afternoon, there's so much distraction or something. There's so many
in the afternoon, and you're very tired after sleeping. After taking a nap.
After taking a nap.
So
after taking a nap.
After taking a nap.
Taking, not take. Taking. After taking a nap.
After taking a nap.
Okay, Miss Tu, please. So, do you think Vietnam has an effective education system?
To be honest, I don't think so. Our education system is lastly theoretical. With little practice.
Theoretical. It's
theoretical.
Lý thuyết quá. It's so theoretical. Theoretical.
Yes. Theoretical. With little practice.
Try again.
With little less practice. So students have little understanding of the lesson and makes them uninterested in the lessons. Besides, the exam is too heavy, but not very effective.
I see. Not very effective. So, if you can suggest a change, What would that be then for the education system of Vietnam, Miss Tu? If you can suggest a change, what would that be? Câu hỏi ngoài lề.
Yes. I wish
suggest.
I wish the children
think about it. Of course, when you say the education system is so theoretical, would you suggest them to reduce the number of subjects, or how can I say? If I were you, I would say, if I were the Minister of Education, I would try to push the English studies, the English teaching so much in primary schools and secondary schools, so that children can start to learn science in English from grade 6 all over the country. I would try to push it that way, because I think learning science in Vietnamese is a waste of time. It's a total waste of time. So, or you can suggest something else. It's up to you, Miss Tu. Try it. Okay, anyway, we should continue. Miss Tu, would you like to further your study? To further your study? You want to study further, like to master or to a PhD or something like that? Miss Tu, I cannot hear you. Try again. Okay.
I'm not even sure if I can keep up with the top. Currently, I'm a freelance teacher.
Study, you mean?
Teacher. And in the future, maybe I'm an English teacher. But anyway, I have always loved work related to children.
Good. So you would like to further your study in that field, I see. Now, Mr. Yoon, please. So are you looking forward to working? Because you are now a student you're about to approach grade 10. So I'm asking you this question. Mr. Yoon, are you looking forward to working? Why or why not?
Well, if I...
No, I'm asking Mr. Yoon. Yeah. Right. Okay. So you have already helped your mom and your mother in her business. You help her bringing the food to the customers and thing, but that is only a very small thing.
I know.
That's only a very small thing. But are you looking forward to working when you're 18 years old, or maybe working when you finish your university?
I think I'm gonna working after university. I'm gonna have money by myself.
I'm going to. I want to.
I'm going to. I want.
Because I'm going to.
I want to have money by myself, not depending on my mom anymore.
Not dependent on my mother. Not dependent on my mother.
I work and I can buy my new computer that I want, so I need to go forward to looking forward to working.
Looking forward to working, I see. Now, so let's continue with another topic of work. So, Mr. Khan, please. What are your responsibilities in the workplace? Những trách nhiệm của mình ở nơi làm việc là gì? Yes.
My responsibility in my workplace is about teaching students, and I have to deal with lots of classes and students. And yes, and I always have to, deal with tons of workload, and it's a bit hard to me.
It's a bit hard to me. Okay, how about you, Mr.? What are your responsibilities in the workplace? Because, of course, you are a freelance teacher, just like me. But, of course, there are a lot of responsibilities, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Mainly responsible. I'm mainly responsible for the children whom I teach. I teach them math
and you teach, I see.
I teach them math and chemistry, and explain their questions about other subjects or tiny problems they are having trouble with.
I see. Now, tell me, why did you choose to do that type of work or that job, Miss Tu?
To be honest, teaching is not my profession.
You mean it's not your major that you study, right? Teaching is not the major that you studied, right?
Yes.
What?
Initially choose to be. Initially.
At the beginning, initially, yeah.
Yes.
At the beginning,
choose to be.
Yes.
I initially choose to be a counselor for children.
Counselor.
But for some reasons.
You mean a counselor?
Counselor.
No, counselor is something
counselor
else.
For children.
Counselor means like người trong hội đồng. No, a counselor is not. It's not the word here. I think you. A person will give advice to children and things like. What is that called? I think is it called advisor? No.
Yes.
Consultant.
But for some reason.
A consultant, I think. It's a consultant. I think it's consultant. Someone who advises people on a particular subject. Because, like for example, management consultant, financial consultant, người tư vấn tài chính, tư vấn quản lý, tư vấn máy tính, computer consultant. I think you are an educational consultant. Right?
Yes.
Tư vấn giáo dục, right? Are you? Is that you? Educational consultant?
No.
Or you are a psychological consultant?
Because for some reason I become a freelance teacher.
A freelance teacher, yeah.
Yeah. Nghĩa là không có làm đúng cái công việc chuyên môn của mình nữa.
Of course, you didn't do the job that you were trained to, but it's okay. I wasn't trained to be a teacher either. I'm a pharmacist, but now I'm teaching and I have lots of students following me. You know.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, Mr. I cannot ask you about work because you haven't worked yet. So this part maybe not asking Mr. Young. Now, but you can describe your dream job that you dream of. Like Mr. Young, if you can dream of a job in the future, what would that be?
Right now, I'm not really. Right now, I don't really think about the job I'm gonna do because have a lot of problems about that. I don't really think about it. So in my
imagination,
in my thinking, I gonna be a scientist.
Ah, you want to be a scientist?
But yeah, that's still cool. But I don't really think I gonna do that because they have a lot of problems. Um, some dangers about my life. But I really want to be a scientist. I want to be a scientist. Yeah, I cannot be a scientist. I gotta be
gonna be.
Going to be.
Say again, please.
Going to be scientist about math.
You mean you're gonna be a scientist specialized in mathematics, right?
Yes.
I see. Right, so that's the dream job, I see. So will you keep doing this dream job for a long time? What do you think? Or will you change your profession? You know, a lot of people these days, they do 2 or 3 jobs at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, me, I teach, and I'm writing my 2 books now, and I am making videos, and sometimes I play piano at events. There's a lot of things people can do at the same time, you know. So, will you keep doing this job for a long time? I mean, your dream job?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do
my
dream job. Going to be keep my dream job and doing a new job like virtual YouTuber like now.
Oh, YouTuber!
But it's virtual. It's like a virtual YouTuber.
You have to work
play a game
really hard
there.
to be a good YouTuber. Remember that. Maybe it's better to be a TikToker, you know.
I don't like it.
Yeah, TikToker.
I don't really like it.
You don't like TikTok, right?
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, you don't like it. No, you don't like. No, I don't like it. Chứ không phải là yeah, I don't like.
No, I don't like it.
No, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. Okay, very good. Right, so Mr. Khan, please. What do you like and dislike about your job?
But the things that I like my job is that, you know, I'm working in a primary school, which is one of the top school in my areas. So I have my own teaching class, which is equipped with projectors, and it is really useful for my teaching lessons. And on top of that, my colleagues and my students are very friendly, and they really helpful. Every time I got trouble with my students, my colleagues always give me a hand.
Every time I get into trouble, because every time it's like it describes something that happened as a habit. So you should use present simple, cái sự hiện tại đơn này. Every time I get into trouble.
Em dùng have got đó thầy, have got của anh đó, have got là
every time I have got into I think you can use that. Every time you have got into trouble, every time you have got into trouble.
Every time I've got into troubles with my work or students, so my colleagues always, you know, give me a hand to handle it. And the most challenging part about my work is, I think, the overwhelming workload, and you know, I have to deal with lots of classes and students, so I'm always up to the ears in work, so that leaves me very little quality time for my families and friends. and I think that is the negative side of it.
You know, people often are lured into receiving or accepting too much responsibility, especially when they are still young. So I've learned to just not accepting too much responsibilities. Otherwise, you will feel so overwhelmed up to the ears. You will feel snowed under. And it's not a good thing. So, Miss Tu, do you work better in the mornings or in the afternoons, and why? I can't hear you, Miss Tu.
Yes, I prefer to study in the mornings. Actually, I'm more of a morning person. I find it's easily for me to concentrate on reading and thinking in the morning.
I find it easy for me. I find it easy, not easily. I find it easy for me to.
I find it easier for me to concentrate on reading and thinking.
To concentrate on.
Concentrate on reading and thinking in the mornings than in the afternoon. I think it's because of my internal clock. I always feel pretty internal clock.
Or you can say biological clock. Đồng hồ sinh học.
Yes. I always feel pretty whipped out in the afternoon. Cảm thấy rất là mệt mỏi khi mà làm việc buổi chiều đó này.
I say I feel weak when I have to work in the morning too. I think I work much better in the let's say after my lunch nap. Maybe about 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. That's when I work the most efficiently, I think. Right, so tell me, do you miss being a student, Miss Tu? Miss Tu, do you miss being a student?
Yes.
Do you really have to prepare every lesson, every questions before the lessons like that? No. Do you miss being a student?
Yes, kind of. Compared to my life now, being a student seems pretty carefree. The things I miss the most in the 4 months holiday every year. I always try to make the most of the holidays by doing tons of interesting stuff with my friends.
Stop là không được này. You cannot say stuff in IELTS. Tons of different things, okay, but not stuff, okay? Never use stuff in IELTS. It's very informal. Đừng bao giờ xài stuff trong IELTS nha. Dùng chữ things là ok hơn.
Yes.
A lot of things. Or a lot of work. Try again, please. Do you miss being a student? Miss Tu?
Em đọc lại hết.
No.
Em đọc lại hết.
Try that question again. Do you miss being a student? Never mind. I'll move on to
Yes.
Mr. Khan. Would you choose to be a freelancer, Mr. Khan? Why and why not? Why not?
Well, I have never thought about that because yes, because I think my job is really good and I love it, and I also can earn a bit of money. So I can take care of myself and my families, as well as put the food on the table. So I don't think about another job right now.
Putting food on the table, right?
Yes. So I have never thought of it.
I see. Right, but you complain about the workload. But you complain a lot about the workload. If you have a choice, would you choose to be a freelancer like me and Miss Tu?
If I have a chance, I think I want to run my own English center. So that is the reason why I am learning IELTS right now, because I have to have a good point in IELTS exams. So I will have my own
qualification,
English
right? Have a good qualification.
Yes.
I see. Now, so do you think people nowadays work too much, Mr. Khan?
Well, I don't think so, because if you want to achieve anything in life, you have to work really hard. That is how the life it is. So you have to accept this and get on with it.
Life không đếm được. Life is uncountable. So that is how life is. Not like that's how the life is. That's how life is. Okay.
Okay. That is the way how life it is. So people have to accept that and get on with it.
They have to accept that and get on with it, of course. Now, but Miss Tu, do you think people nowadays work too much?
Yes, I think so, because society is developing. Living standards are getting higher and higher. So people have to work harder and busier to keep up with the development.
They work harder and harder
to keep up with the
or they become more busy.
Harder and harder.
And they become more busy.
To keep harder and harder to become more busy.
No. They work harder and harder, and they become more busy.
Harder and harder, and it's become more busy.
Okay, fine. But that doesn't answer the question.
To keep up with the...
To keep up with the... Tiếp.
Nói chung là...
To keep up with the gì?
To keep up with the development of society.
Of the society. Development of the society.
Yes.
Right, to keep up with the development of the society, I see. Now, Mr. Yoon, please. So, will you miss your secondary school when you left it and coming to a new school?
No, not really.
You really hate it? You really want to get out of it, huh?
Not really. I really hate it, but the study facility there is very good, but friends there is not very good.
You mean the friends there?
No more.
They're not really friends.
Yeah, students, they're not really friendly, because that school is really big part of it is all very rich students. So they can bring their phone to school. They at the rest time they play phone. They with their phone and they don't play with other friends. Don't do anything.
Basically, they just play on their phones and they did not really study, right? They do not really study, right?
That's right, and I don't really like that.
Of course, you should never like that. It's really lazy. They are wasting their time. They're wasting the school resource. They're wasting everyone else's time. Mm-hmm.
And a dark side of my school.
Dark side.
Yeah, my school have a dark side because the play is for the rich kids, so they.
Don't use the word kid here. Don't use the word kid here. So the place has a lot of rich. No. Let's just say a lot of rich students, a wealthy students. Let's just say students who comes from a wealthy background, or students who come from rich families.
From rich family.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Đừng dùng chữ kid nha. Don't use the word kid here, okay?
They sometimes use web. And they sometimes use web. They smoke. They smoke too.
They smoke. And they use vape, right? How about other things? Come on, just smoking cigarettes and things like that. Come on, shisha. How about shisha? How about shisha and they smoke weeds and things like that too?
Yeah, they have to. Yes, they have to.
They have that too. They have that too, right? Oh, come on. I mean, we have to find a way to stop that somehow. Otherwise, it will destroy the society. Okay, let's move on to part 2, class. Bây giờ chúng ta qua part 2 đi. Move on to part 2. I think it's about number 10 now. Oh, yes. Okay, page 9. Trang 9. Okay, so let's go on to part 2, and we have topic number 1 here. We also have moment. Right, so part 2 is about, you know what you have to do in part 2, class? Part 2 and part 3 are related to each other. I mean, their topic will basically be the same. And you know what they expect you to say, class? In part 2, yeah, please, Mr. Yun, try it.
I think vocabulary, fluency.
No. Part 2 is not just, it's not really about vocabulary. Part 2, they check your usage of past tenses. They check your usage of future tenses and present tenses. So basically, they check the right usage of grammar, your ability to connect ideas together to create a story where you describe something. See? Grammar and your ability to connect the ideas together. So that is coherence and logic. Your ability to tell a story and how you use the tenses. Okay? Part 3, of course, for part 2, you have to have good pronunciation and good fluency as well. So everything from part 1 must be achieved already. But then you have to use the correct tenses. You have to be able to tell a story. That is part 2. Part 3. Everything that was asked in part 1 and part 2. So you have to have good pronunciation, good fluency. You have to be able to talk talk longer, speak longer. You have to be able to use the correct tenses, grammar. But also in part 3, you need to use more complex words, vocabulary, and expression. In part 3, they will ask about a lot of things that is not related to you much. Part 3 talk about like common topics, okay? Topics that is related to society, environment, law, education, science, everything, but it's not related to you, okay? Not really. So the question is, in part 3, should you give examples? Class?
No.
Of course, you should give examples to make it longer, you know? But the example should never about you, okay? Cái part 3 đừng có bao giờ nói về bản thân nha. Bởi vì part 3 nó nói về những cái điều mà chung chung xung quanh cuộc sống chúng ta thôi. Đừng có bao giờ cho ví dụ về bản thân nha. Well, basically just give examples about things that you see on the TV, on the news, or on the internet. Just use these examples. Don't talk about yourself in part 3 ever, okay? Okay, part 1 and part 2, you talk about yourself and things related to you. But part 3, never talk about yourself in part 3, okay? Okay. Now, so for part 2, you are asked to talk about the topic from 1 to 2 minutes. So 60 seconds to 120 seconds. If your answer is too short, the examiner will ask you something else to help you extend your answers. But if your answer is too long, if you pass the 120 second or 2 minutes limit, they will have to stop you. Why? Because many other people in the exam room, many people are waiting to be in the exam room, and they cannot wait for you. The examiner had to stop you because they have to move to part 3. But the question is, if they stop you, does it affect your grade? Nếu các bạn bị ngăn lại trong cái lúc mà đi thi, liệu có bị trừ điểm không? No, you won't be reduced. Your grades won't be reduced. Because why? They have heard enough to give you a good grade, to give you a grade. So if you are stopped when you're talking, it's okay. Don't worry about it, okay? Nếu bị ngăn lại lúc mà mình đang nói là do tại họ nghe đủ rồi để cho mình con số điểm. Cho đừng có lo về chuyện đó. Không hề ảnh hưởng đến số điểm của bạn cả. Cứ nói nhiều là được. Just talk a lot, it's okay. Now, so let's go to topic number 1 for part 2. Okay, so describe your favorite singer or actor. Mô tả cái người mà diễn viên hoặc là người ca sĩ ưa thích của bạn. You should say who he or she is, người đó là ai. What his or her personality is like. Cái tính cách của cái người đó như thế nào. How do you know this person? Làm thế nào bạn biết cái người đó. And explain why he or she is your favorite. Giải thích lý do tại sao cái người đó lại là người mà các bạn ưa thích. And you have part 3 about singer or actor. Do you think your favorite singer or actor is good? And why? So it means like, are they good in what they're doing? Liệu những cái người đó có giỏi cho cái ngành mà họ đang làm không? Tại sao? Do singer or actors play an important role in your country? And why? Ca sĩ diễn viên có đóng một vai trò quan trọng trong đất nước bạn không? Tại sao? How do you think that celebrities now have lots of income? Bạn nghĩ rằng những người nổi tiếng bây giờ có rất là nhiều nguồn thu nhập, thì bạn nghĩ chuyện đó như thế nào? Like the question asks like, do you think they are well justified to have that much income? Do you think it's a good thing that they have a lot of income? Các bạn nghĩ là liệu họ có xứng đáng không? Và liệu cái điều đó có nên không? Là họ có nhiều thu nhập không? Do people prefer to listen to traditional music or foreign music in your country and why? Người trong đất nước bạn thích nghe nhạc truyền thống hay là nhạc nước ngoài ở trong đất nước bạn vậy? Tại sao? Okay, because we are practicing for the first time, I'll give you 3 minutes to prepare, okay? 3 phút bắt đầu. Okay, time's up. Okay, so Mr. Khan, please start first. Describe your favorite singer or actor, please.
To begin with, I have to admit that I am a huge fan of the Hollywood film industry, and I hardly ever miss any Hollywood blockbuster. And my all-time favorite actor is Robert Downey Jr., an American actor who has starred in multiple top-grossing movies. Well, he is probably in his 50s, but he looks much younger than his real age. And his career has been characterized by critical and popular success in his youth, followed by a period of substance abuse and legal troubles before a resurgence of commercial success in middle age.
Mm-hmm. So, what else?
And unlike most of his fans, I first noticed him when he was playing in Iron Man, and became his fan after watching this film.
Mm-hmm.
And he usually acts in sci-fi movies, and his acting really varies and simply excellent. On top of that, I can't help laughing every time he posts anything on his social media accounts, because he has such a great sense of humor.
Very good. That sounds.
So that is the reason why I love him.
That sounds like a 7.0 speaking band score, you know? Band 7 đấy. That sounds like a band 7. Okay, now, Mr. Yuan, please. Can you describe your favorite singer or actor?
My favorite singer is Dua Lipa. She's very famous right now, and her personality is like I know she's a very strong woman. Full of how can I say? Full of courage.
Well, courage and.
Full of courage and
bravery.
Bravery. I know her accent. Her song is New Rules. I hear that on my TV. New Rules. Do you know that song?
No.
Oh. That's her very famous song. I know that on my a long time ago on my TV, and really like listen to her song every day. She's as known as a pop singer, a US UK singer. And she now is very very popular as the single Levitating pick in the top 5 in the US and UK. And sometimes she cry she stream her cry on Instagram because her song cannot have a top in US in the Billboard.
Cannot be in the top 10. So she
cannot be on
like
the top.
Could not be in the top 10.
No, her song semi just
what?
A little bit. She can be the first, the top one famous single, but some problem she cannot have it.
Okay, so why he or she is your favorite?
Well, because her song is very strong, and sometimes she makes jokes So I really laughed about her.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good enough. I think that sounds like a 5.5 speaking. Tại vì em bị rớt xuống 5.5. Tại vì sao? Mặc dù là em nói được rất nhiều thứ nhưng mà người ta vẫn bị hiểu lầm. Người ta vẫn bị tự hỏi ủa em đang nói cái gì vậy? It drops, your point dropped to 5.5 because even though you talk, you can speak long, you can talk about a lot of things, but people still confuse about some parts of your speaking. Like confusion will cause a drop from 6 to 5.5 or 5, even 5, you know, be careful. Remember that, please. You have to be able to speak clearly, accurately. Don't speak fast, okay? Never speak fast in IELTS. Đừng bao giờ nói quá nhanh trong IELTS. The faster you speak, the more mistakes you can make. And that is very bad for your grades. Nhớ nha, đừng bao giờ nói nhanh trong IELTS nha. Okay, Miss 2, please. Describe your favorite singer or actor, please.
I'm going to talk about a well-known comedian in China named Stephen Chow. He is literally the most hilarious comedy actor I have ever known.
You mean comedian actor? Comedic actor or comedian actor?
And he acted in and directed dozens of comedy films, and all of them have been hits at the box office. His movies and history
in the box office.
The box office.
Box.
Yes, in the box office. Box office.
Box.
Thầy làm em quên.
Box office.
Em quên hết.
Try again, please. You can try again if you forgot it all because of me.
Yes. His movies and his great acting makes him nationally recognized actor and a household name.
Nationally recognized as a household name, yeah.
Among Chinese people. If memory serves correctly, I first saw him in a movie on DVD that I borrowed from my friend Ha about 10 years ago.
Okay.
It came with glowing recommendations from her, since her was also a huge fan of Stephen Chow.
Yes.
I still remember the movie is called Domestic 007. In the movie, Chow stars as a secret agent, and he sent to Hong Kong to protect a valuable. There are many spectacularly funny plots that happen between him.
There are a lot of spectacular.
Spectacular funny plots that happen between him and the bad guys. Definitely.
Rồi, từ không được chấp nhận.
Bad guys.
The bad people.
It were definitely a comedic masterpiece, and it makes me laugh so hard that I cried.
It made me laugh so hard I cried.
And made me laugh so hard that I cried. From then on, I watched all his movies, which are on fascism.
What?
which are all
gì?
facile.
Không hiểu. You have a lot of words I don't know at all. I mean, it's not really understandable. Thật sự luôn á, có rất nhiều cái không thể hiểu nổi luôn á. I think even though you try your best, everything, but your pronunciation is horrible, really. Phát âm tệ quá. Nó ảnh hưởng đến cái người ta hiểu dữ lắm luôn á. Cho nên dù là như vậy nó vẫn bị rớt xuống 5.5. Ok. Cái phát âm á, nó là một cái tiêu chí trong IELTS, nhưng mà nó đương nhiên nó sẽ ảnh hưởng đến cái chuyện fluency, cái logic mà người ta có hiểu được hay không nữa. Basically, pronunciation, if bad pronunciation, it will affect the way people understand you, of course, and it will affect your other band scores, your sub score, I mean. So that's why it's about 5.5 only. Cannot give you a 6. Because if you want to achieve a band 6, your whole overall content of what you talk about must be very clear. Okay? Nó phải rõ ràng, chứ không phải là cứ tập trung vào dùng những cái từ mà nó nghe nó phức tạp cái gì đâu. Don't try to concentrate on using a lot of difficult words, okay? Try to make your speech clear first. Okay. Now, let's go to part 3. About singer or actor. So, Mr. Khan, do you think your favorite singer or actor is good and why? Try to speak longer. Ráng nói dài lên, please. Mr. Khan, your microphone, please. Khan với lại Dương nè. Your microphone, please.
Em quên nãy giờ em nói mình em nghe luôn.
Alright.
Sorry, thầy.
Do you think your favorite singer or actor is good and why?
So I believe so because he is very popular and he's a very good person due to a very large number of charity work. His charity work, and he also warned people about the impact of climate change.
The impact.
And currently he is
about the impact.
The impact. Em tưởng là impact là impact đó thầy.
No, it's impact.
Impact.
Okay, let's check it out.
Impact and impact.
Wait. See.
Impact. Impact.
First of all, impact. Okay.
Okay.
Impact.
About the impact.
So he warns everyone about the impact of climate change. And currently he is running an organization which he launched to reduce carbon footprints around the world by using advanced technology.
Around the world
by using advanced technology. World by using advanced technology. So that is the reason why I think he is a very good person.
Well, the question asked is the person good? Means like, do you think they are good in their field? Like, for example, are they a good singer? Or they a good actor? But you can also talk about whether they do things that are good for the society as well. But first, you need to talk about whether they are good in their field first. Be careful, cẩn thận nha. Cái câu này nó nói là cái người đó có phải là ca sĩ tốt hay là diễn viên tốt hay không. Tức là họ có tốt trong cái ngành họ đang làm không. Xong rồi mình có thể nói lái vào cái chuyện là họ làm gì tốt xã hội không. Nhưng mà cái bản chất chính vẫn phải nói về chuyện là họ có làm cái việc của họ tốt hay không đó. You have to talk about if they are a good singer or actor first, okay? Try again, please. Be careful.
Okay. So Mr. Downey, he usually acts in sci-fi movies, and his acting really varies, and he does it very excellent. And on top of that, he's do a lot of good things to the society, like he did a lot of charity work, as well as he also warned everyone about the impact of climate change. And currently, he is running an organization which he's launched to reduce carbon dioxide into the world.
Dioxide emission.
Cái từ đó em quên ta, đọc sao thầy nhỉ?
You mean carbon dioxide emissions?
Yes, emission into the environment by using advanced emission.
Carbon dioxide emission into the environment.
Emission the environment by using advanced technology.
Okay. Now, so tell me, Mr. Yoon, please, do you think singers or actors play an important role in your country, and why?
I think a part of the singer or actor play an important role in my country because they donate, they help the person, the people who have not really wealthy situation.
Of right? They help underprivileged. Underprivileged people, những người mà không có may mắn, kém may mắn. Underprivileged people.
Some of them help. Open the concert to
outside influences, right? To outside influences. Những ảnh hưởng bên ngoài.
Outside influences. And they have a very important role that they entertain everybody in my country. When people are bored, lazy on. So I think singer and actor play an important role in my country.
Right, okay. So Miss Tu, please, how do you think that celebrities now have a lot of income? Do you think it's a good thing that they have lots of income?
Well, when it's come to famous actors, they make a lot of money because they are adored by millions, which means millions of people will pay to see their movies. But in a more general sense, actors make a lot of money because they are helping great art that people consume. I don't think.
Consume.
Consume. I don't think it's that reasonable. There are other kinds of work that are just as, if not more important, like teachers and doctors, but they don't get half the salary that actors do.
Of course, I think all of us need to be paid more. We have 3 teachers in this class. All of us need to be paid more money. I think I need to increase I think I need to increase the tuition fee of my students. Okay, continue, please. Right. So, Mr. Khan, what do you think? How do you think that celebrities now have a lot of income? Do you think it's well justified, or do you think it's totally wrong?
Well, I agree with that. Celebrities now have lots of income because they are very popular, so they have lots of live shows, and people have to always pay a lot of money to get into the shows. And celebrities are usually paid with a very large amount of money, which improves their income. And because of their income because of their popularity. So it's very easy for them to make money from endorsement, you know.
Endorsement.
That is endorsement. So they have lots of deal with endorsers with improved
income.
Sorry.
Income. Through endorsement, yes. Like for example, if I have a lot of subscribers, I can ask for donation because of course I have been working so hard and I make videos to share to society, so I can ask for endorsement. I can ask for donation. It's fair. Of course, it's fair. It's only fair.
Yes.
Now, please. Alright, so Mr. Yoon, please. Do people prefer to listen to traditional music or foreign music in Vietnam, and why?
Well,
what?
Like what I can see, people prefer to listen to traditional music than the foreigner music. But in some part, they really like foreigner music than traditional. Foreigner.
You mean they
people
listen to foreign music, right?
Yeah. People in Vietnam really like to listen to their traditional music because it's easier to listen, to understand, and it's from Vietnam.
Yeah, it's from Vietnam. It's more how can I say, understandable. Nó dễ dàng hiểu được hơn. Understandable. Anything else?
And they want to develop the country music. Develop.
Oh, you mean they want to support their country's music?
Huh?
You mean they want to support their country's music?
Yes. So they like to listen to traditional music more. But in my opinion, I want to listen to foreign music more than traditional. Because sometimes traditional music is not really
it's not appealing. It's not something that appeals to the ear of people, you know. And
yeah,
it's just old. It's not good enough anyway. Now, so let's move on to the next topic of number 2. It looks very similar to topic number 1, but you should talk about a different person, okay, compared to what you used to talk about, what you talked about in topic number 1, okay? Phải nói một cái người khác nha. Now, describe a famous person that you are interested in. So the person can be famous because of lots of things. They can be a famous teacher, they can be a famous doctor, they can be a famous engineer, they can be a famous speaker, they can be a famous actor, they can be a famous athlete, anything. Cái ngành nào cũng được miễn sao họ nổi tiếng trong cái ngành đó. Any fields as long as they are popular or famous in that field, okay? You should say who he or she is, how you knew him or her, làm thế nào bạn biết người đó. Cẩn thận. What he or she is like, cái người đó như thế nào. Explain why you are interested in him or her, làm thế nào bạn hứng thú với cái người đó. Be careful with the past tense if you use it, okay? Be careful with the tense of the verbs that you use. Cẩn thận cái thì của những cái động từ mà các bạn sử dụng nhé. Be careful. Nói chậm lại. Cảm thấy các bạn nói quá nhanh. I feel like you're speaking too fast. Đặc biệt bạn Tú này hay nói quá nhanh nè, hay bị vấp nè. Miss Tu, actually you speak too fast. Mr. Khan, your speed is okay. Mr. Young, I think you should slow down a bit, I think. Miss Tu too. And then you have part 3 of famous person. What kinds of famous people are there in your country? Có những loại người nổi tiếng nào ở trong đất nước bạn? Like, famous about what fields? Famous because what they do, or famous because of that they are good in their field, famous because of other reasons. Có thể người ta nổi tiếng vì nhiều lý do khác nhau. What are the differences between famous people today and those in the past? Có sự khác biệt nào giữa người nổi tiếng ngày nay và những người nổi tiếng trong quá khứ không? Like, you can talk about their personalities, what they do, is there scandals? Are there scandals? Bad things? Are there dramas? How much they contribute to the society, something like that. A lot of things, right? Should celebrity contribute more to the country that they live in and why? Những người nổi tiếng có nên cống hiến thêm cho đất nước mà họ sống không? Tại sao? Like, for example, you can talk about, like, of course, famous people, they have the reputation, right? Họ có danh tiếng. And whatever they do, whatever they talk about, they can make people follow them, right? Họ có thể làm cho người khác đi theo họ. And so that is something that they have. They can contribute more to the society. Whenever they call for donation or to help the poor, a lot of people will donate. Nếu những người nổi tiếng như là các MC hay là ca sĩ nổi tiếng, họ chỉ cần hô lên một phát thôi là người tài trợ, những người mà ủng hộ, người ta sẽ đưa tiền chẳng hạn, sẽ gọi là ủng hộ tiền để ủng hộ người nghèo chẳng hạn, something like that. Do you think famous people are necessarily good in their fields? Các bạn có nghĩ người nổi tiếng thì nhất thiết là phải giỏi trong cái ngành của họ hay không? Are they necessarily good? It means like, do you know that sometimes famous people, they are really bad singer, for example, but they are famous because of scandals, for example? Is that the case? Are they necessarily good in their fields? Có nhất thiết là phải giỏi trong cái ngành họ làm không? Do you think the media is putting too much attention on famous people? Các bạn có nghĩ truyền thông đang đặt quá nhiều cái sự chú ý vào người nổi tiếng hay không? Do you think that famous people deserve to have their privacy protected? Các bạn có nghĩ người nổi tiếng xứng đáng được bảo vệ cái sự mà riêng tư của họ không? Sự riêng tư của họ có được xứng đáng bảo vệ không? Alright, I'll give you 2 minutes. 2 phút, bắt đầu. Okay, let's start now. Describe a famous person you are interested in. Miss Tu, you first. This time, lady first. Your microphone, please. Bật mic thôi. Miss Tu, are you there? Or maybe she's busy. Anyway, Mr. Yoon, you first then. Describe a famous person you are interested in.
So I'm gonna talk about a famous person.
Famous, not famous. A famous
person in a famous person in acting is Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya Taylor-Joy. I know about her because after watch the film's name, The Queen's Gambit.
The Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit.
I know her because her beauty and individual is very
of her individual character, right? Her character, right? Cá tính riêng.
In the individual characters, her beautiful bodies.
You mean her appearance? Cái thân thể đẹp đẽ của cô, nghe ghê quá. Nói cái diện mạo được rồi. Let's just say her appearance.
her appearance.
Okay.
She has a beauty that's like old beauty. It's very soft. It's like a very soft beauty, and every film that she was in, she have a she have a uh, old characters.
Okay.
And she will deep in her in different her character that she uh how can I say act.
Okay.
I really
Why are you interested in him or her? Yeah, because of her character, because of her personality, because of her appearance. Good. Okay, good. Now, Mr. Khan, please describe a famous person you are interested in, please.
Okay. So the celebrity that I would like to talk about is Đàm Vĩnh Hưng, who is a very famous singer in Vietnam, and everyone called him like Mr. Đàm.
Oh.
And he is a good-looking guy with the bright smile and friendly.
Good-looking.
Sorry, he is a very good-looking person with bright smile and really friendly face. And the way I know him when I was 3 years old, when I was 10 years old, and I went to swim in a swimming pool in my town, and I watched videos of his performance there, and I catch a glimpse of him and left a deep impression. After that, I Googled everything about this person and came to realize that he was born in the disadvantaged family, and he had to be a hairdresser to do for his living. And he supported his family when he was a child. However, he came up against hard time and never gave up. So there's no room for double that he became famous after a hard working time. And he is a bad singer, I know. He works hard and always give his all heart and soul into his performance. Therefore, I think that is the reason why.
All his heart and soul.
Heart and soul into his performance. Therefore, I think that is the reason why he receives a lot of love from the audience, and he well deserves the popularity he has today. So I love him to the moon and back.
Guy nữa. So I think he's
he well deserves the popularity he has today.
All right, I see. Now, good. Something wrong with Miss Two microphone. I don't know why. She's turning off her microphone now. Tú, tao tắt mic vậy? Why are you turning off your microphone? Okay, I'll put her in waiting room. Để vào phòng chờ đã. And then I let her in again. Okay, she's in again, but her microphone is still off. Bật mic lại đi Tú. I think something wrong with her laptop, I think. Anyway, we shouldn't wait. We should study all the way until 12:30, okay? 12:30 mới xong nha. Okay, now let's go to part 3, famous person. So, Mr. Yoon, what kinds of famous people are there in your country?
In my country, there's like standard famous people. They famous about the drama. They fight on Facebook. So they become memes and they become joke. Yeah, they become a joke and some funny things on Facebook or social media. But I don't really prefer that. But sometimes they are like argue about each other on the Facebook.
On the Facebook. Facebook has no. Yeah. On Facebook.
On Facebook.
On Facebook.
On Facebook. And there are some kind of people that are famous because of their standard outside their works, like some famous singer.
Famous
they have standard behind that. So
famous singer.
Famous singer after they work like a singer. So I think that's a part of kind of famous people in my country.
Okay, good. So, Mr. Phan Khanh, please. So, what are the differences between famous people today and those in the past? What do you think?
So, I think famous people today and those in the past, they are really different, because the famous people today, they have so many scandals which make them popular to the audience. But those in the past, they have no scandals, I think. So that is the difference between the famous people today and those in the past.
So many scandals, so many dramas, online dramas. So what do you think? So should celebrity contribute more to this country that they live in, and why, Mr. Khanh? Instead of focusing on drama.
I think no, I think it depends on their intention. Some people really want to do something to the society, especially the poor people. But however, some people just want to, contribute something to the society to make them more popular. Contribute. Because they just want to be famous, so they do something like that to make them more famous.
Okay, good. Right. So, Ms. Tayu, do you think famous people today are necessarily good in their fields or not?
Difficult question. Well, I think I think yes, because some of them
Yeah.
Trời ơi, con không hề có ý này hết đấy thầy.
Okay, fine. Let Mr. Khanh do it, because this question is actually a bit difficult, right? It's a bit deeper than you can think about. Mr. Khanh, what do you think? Do you think famous people are necessarily good in their fields? Câu này rất là deep nha. Rất sâu.
Yes, of course. Because, when they are good in their field, so that they show a lot of respect to their audience. If they are not good in their field, so that means respect.
Show a lot of respect to their audience, yes.
Yes, to the audience. So if they are not really good in their field, so I don't think they can get too far in their career.
Of course. Without the audiences, they cannot get far.
They're not good, yeah. Yes.
So, but the question say, do you think, like for example, if famous people, like for example, famous singer, do you think if they are not a good singer themselves, do you need to be a good singer themselves, or they could be famous because of some other things?
I think they have to
like
be
for
good
example,
in their thing.
If you are a teacher and you write a book, but then the book becomes very famous and you have become famous for writing books, so you're not necessarily good in your teaching field, but you write good books. You understand what I'm talking about, right? So that could be one.
Yes, I understand.
Yes. Okay, you need to maybe our class need to think more about this question. Miss Tu has left the room because she has other things to do. Tú ra rồi có việc bận. Okay, anyway, chứ không phải là không phải là mẹ vấn đề đâu. Okay, so next question, Mr. Yoon, do you think the media is putting too much attention on famous people? Like every day, you turn on a device and you see news about celebrities, always. Do you think the media is putting too much attention on famous people nowadays? And they ignore talking about like serious issues in the society?
I think the media putting, I think a little, the media putting too much attention on the famous people. I think really is yes, but they cannot ignore the serious news. They still putting too much attention on famous people. The drama, how can I say? Tin đồn là gì thầy?
Basically rumors. Rumor. Tin đồn, rumors. Putting a lot of rumors and dramas, internet dramas.
And sometimes they put not really real news. They just put a fake news about the famous people, and everywhere is everywhere is panic.
Yes. Continue, please.
So I think the media is attention too much about the famous people.
You mean they are putting too much attention on famous people? Of course they do. They always do. They have always done that in the past. And you know why they have to do that? I think I have told you when I taught you this lesson before. The media have to do that because most of the people are bored. Most of the people, they like to hear about these stories of famous people. That is the reason why the media give them exactly what they want. So that's so the people will be on the website, will buy the newspapers more. They will watch those TV show more. Con người ta chỉ xứng đáng được nhận những cái mà con người ta xứng đáng thôi. Anyway, so Mr. Khan, do you think that famous people deserve to have their privacy protected or not?
Yes, and everyone has a basic right to privacy under the law, and that includes celebrities. They shouldn't have their personal details splattered across magazine pages every time. Take football, for example. Ericsson, he got injured in a football match, and his team surrounded him to protect him and from leaking personal images to the media. So I think
personal images, like for example nude pictures, something like that. Hình 8 cộng, nude pictures and things like that. You mean?
Ericsson đó thầy, bữa kiểu là đá banh bị chấn thương đó thầy, cái là đồng đội đứng xung quanh để
so
không
his
cho người ta
personal
chụp hình đó
picture
thầy.
of when he was injured in the football field, right?
Yes.
Personal
So
picture
his
when
team
he was
surrounded him to
injured
protect him.
in the football field. On the football field.
Em dùng em dùng cái chữ mà got injured cũng được đúng không thầy?
When he got injured, yeah. When he got injured, yeah, sure. Why not? You can do that. Alright, so you think their privacy deserves to be protected just like any other human being, right?
Yes, that's right.
Of course. I mean, they are human too. They need to have their privacy protected. Mr. Young, what do you think about this question?
I think yes, like Britney Spears.
Of course, Britney Spears is a very famous case, you know. Very famous case. Một cái trường hợp cực kỳ nổi tiếng luôn của Britney Spears. And people are basically fighting, and she fought a lot for herself. She had been fighting a lot for herself to free herself from the evil dad, the evil father, and conservatorship. Oh my god, it's horrible. Quyền bảo hộ.
I haven't read about that news.
It's horrible. She had been fighting so much for 13 years. So she had been living in like a kind of jail, a prison in her own home. She has to pay the people who imprison her. It's weird. You know, cô phải trả tiền cho những cái người mà sẽ quản thúc cổ, như là đi ở tù đó. It's like that. It's strange. Cái luật pháp bên Mỹ rất là kỳ lạ. Like the law in America is actually very weird. Now, so I think maybe we should stop here because it's a long lesson already, and we should continue on Wednesday. I'll correct the writing. Okay, task 2 writing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Copy these words for you, and then I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching this video. Guys, thank you so much for your support. I hope that you find this video helpful. Please donate for my efforts, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy donate để mà ủng hộ những nỗ lực của mình nha. Cái link các thứ để liên lạc với mình á, các bạn liên lạc qua Facebook, cái link bên dưới nha. Nếu mà không click được thì các bạn copy nguyên cái link đó xong rồi paste lên trên trình duyệt của web đó. Please donate to me through the Facebook link I put down below in the video description below. If you cannot click it, just copy the whole link and then paste it on your internet browser, okay? And then just inbox me and I'll answer. Cứ nhắn tin Facebook mình là mình trả lời thôi. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also click on follow on my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này với bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và cái nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh đăng ký kênh á, để mà các bạn có thể được thông báo về những video mới của mình. Các bạn có thể nhấn vào cái nút theo dõi, nút follow trên Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you, see you, bye bye.